Replacing your garage door is an investment. Let's find out where the money goes. Welcome to the Garage Authority Podcast, powered by A1. I'm your host, Jonathan Phillips, and today we have a very special guest. One of my favorite people that I've met in the past few years, right? Coming along with Mr. Rapley and then also Cody Graham, and then came as a trifecta. Well, Tom Melendez as well. But the trifecta happened. We have Mr. Chris on the show. How we doing, brother?
Doing great, man.
Sorry, I have short, stubby arms.
I got a microphone in front of me, so it's all
No, you're good. So a little bit of background on Chris. How long have you been doing garage doors now?
So I moved down to Arizona in 23, and that's when I got the first job with Ideal Garage.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then the cool thing is you've done so well that we tried to get him into the training center. There were talks because he's so good at it. And then you bailed on us to become the manager of all the maintenance techs in the land.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's that been?
I wanted to get the cards just didn't play out right. I broke some ribs right at that time. I was going to go into the training academy, be a trainer, and then
that's the perfect time. It's AC controlled. Right? We could get you in a rolly chair. It's never too late.
HR had a different idea of that one.
Not the people operations. No.
No, it was a really great transition to move in. Maintenance tech manager is a brand new position. They've been trying to get someone in that to take over and just kind of mold those maintenance techs, and make them, just make them do the job that we need them to do, but do it efficiently. And without proper leadership, you just don't have that happening. So they wanted, I think she said 2 years they've been trying to get this position filled, and we finally got all the duckies in a row to make it happen. So.
Yeah, and I'm sure now that kind of you went from job to job, and you get your experience. We have friends with a lot of experience, but being in the manager role, now you're kind of seeing the eagle eye view of all the jobs, all the little things that seem consistent with homeowners. And that's why I wanted to bring you on today, because I want to talk to people bare bones, what's the real cost of garage doors? So I'm like, that's perfect guy to bring on to this. So in your opinion, and when I say opinion, with the industry standard, what is the average range of garage doors that you've seen as far as price?
Oh gosh, I've seen garage doors $50,000-$60,000. You get some of these nice copper plated doors.
Patina.
Exactly. You can get hog wild and crazy.
Yeah, hog wild and crazy doors. That's the price range. Hog wild and crazy.
And then you can bring it on down to the bare bones. Let's just put something so we can seal up this door. $4,000 or $5,000 range.
Yeah.
Just basic door installed. I mean, there's people out there. There's chucks in a truck, as we call them. They're like, oh, I can do that for cheaper, and they can.
Yeah.
But, you're going to get what you pay for.
200%.
Just like if you go to Home Depot or Lowe's or one of the big box stores and pick one up and put it in yourself. If you're that kind of a guy, you're going to save money. It's just like anything else DIY. You're going to save money if you do it yourself.
Yeah.
But are you really saving money because of all of the other expenses that you're going to incur over the years to come by not getting something professionally installed?
Right. Now, what does the phrase go? I can have it cheap, I can have fast, I can have quality. You can only pick two.
Yeah, you can't have all three.
Yeah, you can't have all three. Now, how does there's a lot of variables in that size. I mean, we're talking ranges. I think I had a lady one time buy a door, and she had a wood overlay door. And I remember this because this is $60,000 doors. I work in the industry. Yeah. Even if I win the lottery tomorrow, it's just what people want, right? But the one time where I was actually shocked, where I was like, you really want to do this? She bought these 4 wood overlay 16 by 8 doors. And it was like, it went to this big U-shaped. I mean, it was beautiful. Yeah. And she just came back. She was talking about how she's going in Europe, and she was kind of talking about her job. It's a very specific job, so I don't think I want to say it. But but she got these wood overlay doors, and at that time, this was around 2017, each door installed was about $12,000. Right?
Back then, holy cow.
Yeah. So, and they were really nice doors. And then about a year later, she wanted us to come back out, and she's like, I finished the design in my home, and I don't know the wood. The name of it eludes me, but it's from somewhere in Africa, and she had a lot of the furniture in her home custom made out of that. She's like, I like the look of these doors. I want you guys to strip them, and I'm going to bring in all that wood, and I want you to remake it. And then by the end of everything was said and done, I think it ended up around $160,000. And that was, majority of that was getting the wood shipped.
Wow.
That wasn't us.
Wow.
So that's the most crazy that I've ever seen.
You got me.
Yeah. I was like, wow. Like some people just live different lives. You know?
It was $140,000 for 3 doors.
Goodness.
You know,
I mean, if they want it,
doors,
yeah,
you know,
gorgeous.
But
I'm probably most proud of that one project. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, and then go to jobs every day, like I said, to where it's like they go to basically a Great Value door, and you know, Home Depot, big box stores, like it ranges. With that range, I mean, from there, 160,000 all the way down to a box store. With what size and materials, and how does that affect price for a client?
Drastically.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what makes that high-end range.
Exactly. You know, I said it earlier. You get what you pay for, and you know, it's true. One of the biggest factors is going to be the material of the new door. The size is not as big of a factor as people think. I mean, like a 16 by 8 is not going to be twice as much as an 8 by 8.
Right.
You know, even though it's half the size of door, because you still got the same amount of hardware.
Right.
So, you know, people are thinking, they're like, oh, well, this door is half the size of that one, so the cost should be half the price. So, well, then, no, I'm sorry. You still got a spring system. You still got all the hinges. You still got all the rollers, all the tracks. All that stuff is still going to be the same. So the size of the door is not as big of a factor as people think. Of course, the bigger the door, the bigger the price tag. You know, that goes.
Yeah, we get 14 by 14.
Yeah,
like
exactly. You know, and then when you get into custom sizes, that makes it even weirder. You know, you start to get into the 6'9" heights, or you know, something like that, or a 14.2 wide or something. You know, that can play a factor, and it does. But the material itself is going to be the biggest factor. And then, of course, you got design. I mean, you got your standard, you know, short panel, long panel, flush panel. Those are going to be the 3 standard designs that you see mostly around your HOAs and things like that. Because they are more readily available, they're going to be a little less expensive.
They got a whole factory line.
Yeah,
they're just going off the belt. They don't have to stop and like get hands on.
But when you get these wood overlays or the full wood overlays, now you're dealing with a custom made door. Or anything with windows is going to jump the price up, you know, drastically as well. There's so many different factors, but the biggest contributor is materials. The better the quality, the more you're going to pay.
Yeah, whether that's just the gauge of steel or it being wood or just a pan door, vinyl back, polystyrene, polyurethane being that best steel sandwich.
Even the moving parts. I mean, if you get the different quality springs, I mean, you could stick with, you know, a 10,000 cycle, you know, and then you're going to get, you know, 3 to 5 years out of them, or you can get your max life cycles with that's SAR, and then you're going to get a lifetime warranty on it. So you got a wide range, and that's going to affect the cost as well.
And then powder coated tracks, 11 gauge hinges that can be powder coated. You got the 6200 ZZ rollers, which is like a lifetime equivalent roller instead of just a plastic one. Like that's why it's kind of a loaded question whenever I have talked to clients and they're like, well, how much is a new door? And I'm just like, grab a cup of coffee and let's sit down if you really want to know everything.
And the question really when that's proposed is there's a difference between cost and price. The price of the door is what you're paying for it today. The cost of the door is over the lifetime of how long you're going to have that, how much more are you going to put into it for repairs down the road. You need to factor all that into it as well. So the cost of the door isn't what the price is. The cost of the door is, you know, the next 25 years, what you're going to get out of this thing before you got to replace it again.
Yeah. That leads perfectly. Like, what hidden costs do you feel like surprise clients the most?
Maintenance.
Yeah.
You still got to maintain your door. It's a moving part.
Yeah.
Anytime you got a moving part, you gotta get some oil on it. You got to make adjustments to the tracks. Got to make adjustments to the springs. Over the years, it's a mechanical device. It's gonna wear out.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to replace bearings. You're gonna have to replace these things and keep it balanced and things like that. Maintenance is probably the biggest hidden cost that people neglect. And they do. You get a brand new car, you don't not take it in for its oil change every 3,000 miles because
Right.
you want it to last. Well, same with a garage door. You want to make sure you get that maintenance done every year because if you don't, it's going to break down prematurely on you. Just like if you don't, you hear the stories. People are like, oh, I went 30,000 miles and now my engine blew up because I never got my oil changed. Well, that's why you didn't get the mileage you should have got out of your your car.
It's kind of like, now we got to get a new car.
Yeah.
Well, now you're buying a new door again.
Exactly.
At some point.
Do that maintenance. That's the biggest one, the biggest hidden cost, I would say. Other than, unless you go to like I was saying, some of these trucks in a truck, they're like, oh, I can do it for less. There's going to be a lot of hidden costs with them because they're going to hit you with, or if you do it yourself, you got disposal fee as the old door, removal of the old door, installation of the new door, and then if you don't have it professionally done, you've got just a wide array of different issues that can happen. I've come many times, gone to a house, you're like, oh, I just had, so-and-so installed this door for me less than a year ago. And I'm like, well, all right, well, we're replacing this, and this because they used all your old hardware.
Yeah.
Or, or they didn't install it right and they put this in backwards and now it's damaged this. So guess what? Here it is 2 years later, we're replacing your door again.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Now, that kind of leads into like how an installation can affect. Are there any other parts about installation that affect the price of a door? Because what comes to mind is like some people don't understand like, hey, this door's so big that we're going to have to like bring in heavy equipment, right? Even though it's a residential home, things like that.
Yeah.
Do you think anything else affects as far as installation is concerned?
Yeah, especially if you start getting into some of these like RV doors. Now we're
Yeah.
talking about scissor lifts, rental and things like that. And then the last thing you want to do is have somebody lifting up a 200-pound spring system on a ladder.
Yeah.
No,
it's not. Been there. Lots of ratchet straps.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
And then the panels themselves. Walking them up and down ladders, versus so there's an extra cost in that. There's extra costs with that, but the installation and doing it right, getting it done right the first time is pretty important. When you take out the old door, you got a complete inspection of all the jam work, make sure there's no cracks in any of that in the H frame. We need to replace that. Are we looking at replacing any of the fascia boards or anything? There's so many things that you don't see until you get the old door out.
Yeah.
Those are costs as well that can be associated with an installation.
That's why it's so important that no matter garage doors. Yeah, I'm going to pick us because we have a training academy and get our guys certified. Yeah. There's other people that get certified too, but HVAC, plumbing, making sure that someone went to school for. I'm not saying an 8-year PhD degree, and I can understand like maybe with people that are in the trades as well. It's like, well, my school was on the job. Well, that means that your mistakes affected a homeowner. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's cool that you've been doing this 20 years, but you're telling me that first 2, 3, 5 years that you didn't make dramatic mistakes that affected a homeowner, but I got my training on the job.
On the job, yeah.
Yeah, so let's not put that to the homeowner. Make sure people are trained whenever they come to your house. Yeah. It's okay to ask people that question. Now, I know that having a trained staff is a premium. As far as a product, when is a premium worth it to the homeowner?
Oh, that's a good question. Premium product is, what are you looking for as far as the quality of the product, the end product that you want? Yeah. Are you the guy that just wants this door installed so that you can sell the house next week? Premium's probably not for you because it's not going to affect you unless you want to market that house saying you have premium
ROI. All
for
that.
ROI, exactly. The garage door is a great. ROI is a great thing to talk about. It's the biggest ROI investment, return on investment that you can do for your home. Yeah. is 193, I think it is 193%. Actually, there's a new one that just
there's
came
a new
out.
one that's around
250,
267.8.
Yeah,
It's all.
But
that's crazy.
It is. So there's nothing. Adding a new bathroom doesn't even add that much value to your home. So it's crazy. So the better the material you put into that garage door, the better the when you start getting to the premium hardware and the premium door itself with the premium insulation and things like that, it astronomically doubles and triples in value immediately.
Yes.
So premium is always, if it's within your budget, it's always the first option that should be chosen.
200%. If it's not within your budget, just use one of our promotional offers. Put the payments on the back burner.
Yeah.
Get your profit and then pay it off. Then you're good to go.
Use Tommy's money.
So, do you have any tips? Yeah, use Tommy's money. Do you have any tips for budgeting for replacement for homeowners? I think we just kind of gave
for
one.
repairs or replacement. For repairs, the best thing you can do is find yourself a maintenance program like our Worry Free Club.
Yeah,
something like that is going to be your first line of defense, and if you really crunch down the numbers, it's cheaper to get that than it is to just call us out every year and have us do a tune-up.
Right.
You're gonna in the short term and the long term, because of the benefits are just there.
Right.
As far as budgeting for replacement, it's an investment like like a remodel on your bathroom or your kitchen.
Right.
So some people you're gonna be you got those guys who are gonna budget it and put X dollars away every month. But the best thing to do is, because 95% of us don't do that, take advantage of one of our financing promotions. You can get a brand new door and an opener for less than $100 a month.
Right.
And
pay it off.
I'm not talking bottom of the barrel. I'm talking a really nicely, higher end. Not the top of the line. I mean, you can get those too for, 150 to 180. But you're talking a nice monthly charge, and and the wonderful thing about it is, you're gonna have that paid off before the warranty's up on that door.
Yeah.
We got some that have some of these doors that got 10-year maintenance programs on them.
Yeah. So not only just like the manufacturer warranty, our warranty, labor warranty, but the fact that we're still going to come out for the next 10 years and check up on the door. Basically, you just got included in our maintenance program.
Oh, for free.
With this door,
and it's included in the price of the door. And for 10 years, and then after that 10 years, you still got the lifetime warranty on the parts.
Yeah.
So if it's year 11 and something breaks, we come out, you just got to pay labor.
Yeah.
And the cost of steel has tripled in the last 5 years. So that's the majority of the cost when we come out to do something. It's not the labor; it's the cost of the materials.
Yeah. I think. I think everyone can feel when we talk about like what COVID did to a lot of markets.
Absolutely.
I think last time I checked, the manufacturer, we're a dealer, and we're a service, and I think the manufacturer costs got up to like 360-something%. Like they just went straight through, and it breaks my heart because some people would just be like, "Well, what? You just came here 5 years ago," and I'm like, "It's not." It's not us.
I had a customer that bought a door in 2019, a brand new door, and nice quality 2-inch steel, steel back, and it was just before I left the field to become the manager. His wife backed into the garage door and he had to replace one of the panel sections, and he ended up spending more money for that one panel section than he did for the entire door in 2019.
Just from the inflation.
Because of the inflation, yeah.
Well, I'm glad we got him taken care of. I'm sad that happened.
Yeah.
But, dude, we've gone over average ranges, size and material, surprise costs, basically just honing down on maintenance, when to go with a premium, and pretty much if it's in the budget. And even if it's not in your budget, we can make it work for you. Is there any other tips or tricks with all that we've talked about today that maybe we didn't cover?
The biggest thing on the cost of the garage door is you gotta look at long term. How long are you planning on being in that home? If you're going to be there more than 5 years, then you need to really think about putting something in there that's going to be a high quality premium parts, so that way you don't need to worry about it for those 5 years or more. because plans do change. Even if you're like, oh, I'm going to sell in 5 years. Well, you know, 5 years from now, you're like, we're not in a place to sell because interest rates are still high or whatever.
Right.
You're always better off to go with that higher end, that premium product, because the peace of mind alone.
Yeah. Dude, it's been a pleasure having you on. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it, John. Thanks for having me, man.
We'll be seeing you around, okay?